Hello, thank you so much for joining us on Weekend. I beg your pardon, Nationwide. I'm Ruth Aguele. President Bola Tinubu has approved the appointment of Professor John Oladapo Obafunwa as the new Director General of the Nigerian Institute of Medical Research, effective from July 24, 2024. Professor Obafunwa succeeds Professor Babatunde Salako, whose tenure expires on July 23, 2024. President Tinubu extends his gratitude to Professor Salako for his service to the nation. The federal government says the pathway to food sufficiency and economic growth is a collaborative one that requires not only the support of the African Development Bank, but other development partners. This is as the African Development Bank is asking the Nigerian government to urgently take bold actions towards sufficiency. Benny Adams reports that this was at the second interactive session for youth and women in agriculture with the theme, Building Capacity of Youth and Women in Agriculture to Develop Bankable Business Plans.
Stakeholders across Nigeria's agri-value chain say they are committed to creating a conducive ecosystem for youth and women's enterprise and to address the knowledge gaps that prevent them from accessing finance and developing bankable business plans.
Together, we have launched an initiative called the Renewed Hope Agricultural Empowerment Project for internally displaced persons. This innovative program aims to empower over 10,000 internally displaced individuals over the next 3 years. There are over 40 million agricultural households, meaning that close to 170 million of Nigeria's population is in agriculture. If we can help that populace, that critical mass, to double or triple their yield, then food security will be ensured, then resource for manufacturing will be expanded.
We are currently training 3 million technical talents to ensure that Nigeria has the technology workforce to help us power the application of technology in sectors like agriculture.
We are dedicated to establishing a robust legislative framework that supports agricultural banks or financial institutions, enabling them to provide low-interest loans.
The Ministry of Youth Development has developed crucial initiatives that provide the support and resources for youth and women and young women to overcome these challenges and contribute significantly to the agricultural sector.
For the African Development Bank, financing initiatives that will ensure Nigeria feeds Africa and Africa in turn feeds the world is a worthy venture.
The question, therefore, is not whether Africa can feed itself, it is rather how quickly can we make it happen. And this is why we launch transformative initiatives like our $25 billion Technologies for African Agriculture Transformation, TAT program, to revolutionize African agriculture.
Our cumulative financing approvals have reached almost $11 billion, and our portfolio currently stands at $4.9 billion, supporting 43 projects in the public and private sectors.
The initiative's partners are the International Institute for Tropical Agriculture, Innovative Youth in Agriculture, the Nigerian Diaspora Commission, and the Nigeria Agricultural Insurance Commission. In Abuja, Benny Adams, NTA News.
Right, let's flip to education. Minister of Education, Professor Tahir Mamman, says 4 million young Nigerians are back to school through various initiatives of the ministry. Professor Mamman was speaking when he received World Bank Country Director to Nigeria, Dr. Ndieme Diop, and his team. He assures the team of federal government's commitment to make judicious use of every fund donated. The minister outlined learning crisis at the basic level, high number of out-of-school children, and the need for enhanced access and inclusiveness, especially for girls and women, as part of challenges facing the sector. He added that implementation of the data objectives teachers and skills, that is DOTS, framework will provide a comprehensive system-wide approach to educational reform. Dr. Diop commends the minister's vision, noting the importance of a robust database.
It's a very tough framework to implement, but we felt this is the processed internally at the bank, and we are very excited about the project. It's a very promising project, which is paired with a project, a linked project on governance.
Both parties resolved to strengthen partnership for a better sector. Zamfara state government has since in November last year declared a state of emergency on the state education sector, in line with the Governor Dauda Lawa's 5-point SMART agenda. 8 months down the line, our correspondent Jamilu Ibrahim takes a look at this action and how it has impacted on the people, talking about the educational sector and the prevailing challenges.
Zamfara State tops the list of the educationally backward states in Nigeria. This is evident in the alarming rate of the out-of-school children, school dropouts, and the massive failure in senior secondary schools examination among students in the state. The problem has been further compounded by the prevailing security challenges bedeviling the state, which necessitated the closure of many primary and post-primary schools across the 40 local government areas of the state. This obviously prompted the present administration of Governor Dauda Lawal to, in November 2023, declare a state of emergency in the state education sector, with a view to reversing the ugly trend. Consequently, the Zamfara state government immediately embarked on rehabilitation, construction and reconstruction of public schools, as well as the provision of educational facilities. This affects more than 240 primary and post-primary schools and the state-owned tertiary institutions. Furthermore, one modern Sangaya school was constructed and equipped in each of the 3 senatorial districts of the state.
Let's do more and more and more and more, particularly in the primary and post-primary education. I think that is where we have a lot of challenges, and I think that is where we need to do a lot to take these children from streets back to the schools. I think one of the ways we can do that is to look at the system holistically.
I would have loved to see the government prosecuting an agenda from a template on education that will guarantee some reasonable degree of assurance at an appropriate time we are going to arrive at our destination.
A cross-section of stakeholders appreciated the progress achieved within 8 months of declaring the state of emergency in Zamfara state education sector, even as they advocated for a robust policy that will guarantee the sustainability of the ongoing reforms in the sector. In Gusau, Jamilu Ibrahim, NTA News.
Right, the top spotlight is still on Zamfara State. Let's join our correspondent Jamilu Ibrahim live from Gusau. Jamilu, talking about the impact of the declaring state of emergency of education in the state. Tell us how much impact, going by what you've just shown us.
Thank you, Ruth, and good afternoon. We are live in Gusau. As rightly captured in the background report, the deteriorating condition of the Zamfara state education sector necessitated the present administration of Governor Dauda Lawal to declare the state of emergency in the sector about 7 months ago. And this was closely followed by massive construction, reconstruction, and rehabilitation of primary and post-primary schools, as well as some tertiary institutions across Zamfara state. And 7 months down the line, about 60% of these schools had been completed. In fact, some of them have been even inaugurated during the governor's 4th year anniversary in office. And the state government has expressed satisfaction with the way the schools have increased the enrollment of students, especially in the places where the security situation has recently improved. The purpose of this declaration, according to the governor, is to address the high rate of out of school children, which has reached about 1 million, as stated by the educationist. So according to the state government, this action is making the desired impact, and the enrollment is increasing, especially in the areas where the security situation has recently improved. But some of the stakeholders we have interviewed on the situation have applauded the state government for these giant strides, but they have expressed some reservations that, considering the fact that there are some schools that are still closed, especially in rural areas due to insecurity, this may not likely make the desired impact, as most of these children that are from these communities had been displaced.
All right, thank you very much, Jamilu Ibrahim there. Unfortunately, we lost your signal, but thank you for that update on the state of education in the state, talking about Zamfara State. Thank you for that. And we're not done with educational matters. Enhancing educational growth in Nigeria to the lofty height of contributing to economic development requires not just increasing accessibility and affordability, but embracing networking that will allow for incorporating new trends. This was the view shared by an international organization, Professors Without Borders, at the completion of a 5-day training program in Lagos. Adejoke Odeka reports that the certification exercise attracted participants from the academia.
Professors Without Borders, ProWibo, is a mentorship program consisting of students and professors recommended by the deans of various universities. This year's edition is special not just because it signals the conclusion of 3 years of activities hosted by Nigeria, but X-rayed contemporary issues in the country's educational experience.
Here in Nigeria, we've had to train the first time 80 students and then 30 lecturers.
One common trait of people who are entrepreneurial is how they interpret failure, and people who are really successful entrepreneurs don't quit.
Train them on skills that are non-conventional, none on the school curriculum.
The Deputy Vice-Chancellor of the University of Lagos, Professor Ayodele Asenua, stressed the importance of taking advantage of the benefits that come with the training.
It's been life-transforming in terms of equipping with knowledge and skills that enable people to do their work.
It has brought a lot of significance, a lot of impact.
It taught me responsibility and it taught me how to be innovative.
With the theme Beyond Boundaries, Modern Skills for Educators and Learners, participants say they are better informed in shaping the future of e-learning in Nigeria. In Lagos, Adejoke Odeka, NTA News.
Nigeria's First Lady Oluremi Tinubu has called for constitutional amendments with key provisions that support the enforcement of the existing and new laws on gender parity in the ECOWAS sub-region. She was speaking at the ECOWAS Parliament 2024 First Ordinary Session, where the spotlight is once again on promoting women's proportional representation in government. Acknowledging the poor gender barometer in the sub-region, despite steps taken to draw more women into governance space, the First Lady says the journey towards realizing 30% representation in the Parliament is achievable, with the support of the National Assembly of member countries enacting laws to promote more quotas and conducive atmosphere for women to participate.
Awareness about the importance of women's representation in governance is crucial. Public campaigns, media engagements, and community programs can help shift societal attitudes and dismantle stereotypes that hinder women's political participation. While quotas and education are essential, enforcement of these measures is equally critical. Government must put in place robust mechanisms to ensure compliance with gender quotas. These include legal frameworks and monitoring systems that hold political parties accountable.
Describing gender parity as a necessity for the advancement of the sub-region, Speaker of the ECOWAS Parliament, Maimunatu Ibrahim, and Nigeria's Senate President, who was represented by his deputy, Senator Barrow Jibrin, highlights the need for favorable legislative framework and supportive disposition by men to align in favor of women who aspire to lead. The session, which was organized by ECOWAS Female Parliamentarians Association, drew participants from ECOWAS member countries who have signed gender parity bill into law. We turn to other issues. Managing disability in children and adolescents requires a comprehensive approach that addresses their physical, emotion, and of course social needs. Now, to meet these needs, the Child Care Trust and Petra Speech Early Childhood and Developmental Center are synergizing to revamp one of the pet projects of late Stella Obasanjo for children with special needs. Elizabeth Omori, who went on a tour of the facility in Buari Area Council of the FCT, reports that the center needs the support of governments and individuals to function optimally.
Amia, mine. Name? Yes, Grace.
Amira and Praise are students benefiting from a vision birthed 16 years ago to cater to the needs of children with special needs. The Child Care Trust of late Stella Obasanjo at Buari can provide shelter for 120 children for emotional support, counseling, education, speech and language therapies, and health care. Following the MOU signed recently, the center is soliciting the support of governments at all levels, parents, donor agencies, and individuals to promote inclusion to make life better for these vulnerable children with unique abilities.
We are going to succeed in giving them what is needed for them.
NGOs to assist us. We direct them where we have complaints and we want them to help us.
About 30 million naira per annum will go a long way to be a great support.
They will be taking care of their speech and language therapy, psychological therapy. We are also working on the curriculum to make sure that each child is taught according to their skills, ability, and time span.
The medical clinic, speech and language labs, physiotherapy room, hearing impaired class, kitchen, intellectual impaired room are part of facilities that require modern equipment to operate effectively. Elizabeth Omori, NTA News.
And still on disability issues, an interministerial sub-national disability awareness summit held at the State House Banquet Hall in Abuja was launched the Beyond Disability Project to unveil Nigeria Persons with Disabilities database. Ungufan Shaji Ungwanyi reports that the initiative is to advance the rights and opportunities of persons with disabilities in Nigeria. The Beyond Disability Project aims to also empower over 5,000 persons with disabilities through talent and skills development and has the potential to create about 36,551 direct and indirect employment for persons with disabilities at the implementation stage.
Hunger, financial support, security, all these indices, when you make it, it has a kind of multiply effect to community of persons with disability. The Beyond Disability Project is all about skill development. How are we going to harness the potentiality that God deposited in the community of persons with disability? We have a gap in creating industry. We have a gap in various sectors. But with this project, the community of persons with disability, they will become self-reliant.
It's more than just an initiative. It is a powerful symbol of our government's commitment to unleashing the potential within every Nigerian, especially the 35.1 million incredible persons living with special needs. Imagine a Nigeria where everyone, regardless of their ability, can thrive. This isn't just a dream, it's the driving force behind the Beyond Disabilities project.
Disability Project will also offer a diverse range of programs tailored to meet the unique needs and aspirations of each participant, from vocational training and entrepreneurial support to digital skills and creative arts, with the aim to harness and nurture the talents of the community of persons with disabilities. In other news, in view of the advancement of global aviation industry and the dynamics associated with security threats, Nigeria and the British government are developing strategies to tackle the challenges. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa was at a capacity enhancement program for personnel in the aviation industry and security agencies.
It is more than 22 years since the September 11 attack, following a terrorist plane hijack, but the sad memories still rekindle with lessons. These aviation experts and security officers are the Countermand Portable Air Defense System Engagement, organized by the National Counter-Terrorism Center. Office of the National Security Advisor are developing strategies to mitigate evolving aviation security threats.
There is no doubt that terrorism has profound negative impact on the nation. The use of unmanned aerial vehicles by terrorists and other criminal elements to disrupt the country's socio-economic activities is of serious concern and must be adequately tackled.
To the UK aviation security expert, Nigeria needs to upscale airport patrol and security.
I would expect the Nigerian agencies to further develop their MANPADS capability, the counter MANPADS capability, particularly when it comes to patrolling and mapping vulnerable areas of the airport.
The platform stressed the need for interagency and cross-border collaboration to mitigate emerging aviation security challenges. In Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA.
In other news, a team led by the Director General of the Nigerian Safety Investigation Bureau, Alex Badi, is visiting Yola Airport for an investigation involving Max Air Boeing 737, which had burst tires. That happened on Sunday evening, 24th July 2024. The aircraft carrying 119 passengers and 6 crew members was cleared for takeoff from Yola Airport en route to Abuja. During the takeoff, a loud bang was heard, identified as the bursting of the rear gear tires. While attempting to clear off runway, the remaining 2 tires also bursted, rendering the aircraft completely disabled. The Bureau Director of Public Affairs and Consumer Protection, Bimbo Olawumi Oladeji, confirmed that no injuries were reported as the situation was brought under control, while an investigation is underway on the incident. All right, we'll pause from this end. Let's join Michael Olale in Lagos for more reports from his end.
Ruth, House of Representatives Committee on Land Transportation says, as part of its determination to strengthen logistics and agro-produce distribution value chain across the country, they will push for legislation to boost private sector participation for sustainability in rail operations. This was stated by the chairperson, House Committee on Land Transportation, during an oversight visit by the committee to the Nigerian Railway Corporation in Lagos. Amaka O reports.
Members of the House Committee on Land Transportation on Oversight, accompanied by the leadership of the Nigerian Railway Corporation, had train ride from Lagos to Ibadan and back to Lagos to see firsthand the challenges and ways to boost operations of the railway system in the country. traveling from Lagos to Ibadan by rail reinforces the benefits of this unique mode of land transportation.
On the central control, once it is switched on, you don't need to be switched off. They are working on the power supply because that is the OCC for the entire Nigeria.
When these things begin to work, the prices of food will crash automatically, things will get better.
The safety, comfort, home away from home ambience that comes with a ride. This world-class infrastructure that connects cities and promotes interstate commercial activities remains top-notch. For sustainable efficiency in this viable subsector to be achieved, the members led by the chairperson made a brief stop at the Alex Ekweme Operational Center, where the digital control tower that monitors the movement of trains across the country has been installed and to begin operations in 2 weeks' time. In Lagos, Amaka O, NTA News.
The Sustainable Development Goal 4 aims to ensure inclusive and equitable distribution, quality education, while promoting lifelong learning opportunities for all. This entails that all children, no matter where they live or circumstances, must have the right to quality education. The federal government is placing premium on these with the Safe School Initiative, which is structured towards ensuring the safety of both students and school facilities. Hingino John Adams tells us more.
Data from the United Nations International Children's Emergency Fund, UNICEF, shows that Nigeria has the highest number of out-of-school children in the world, with only 63% of primary school-aged children attending school regularly. Experts have attributed incidents of kidnapping in schools as one of the factors responsible for this trend. The Safe School Initiative is the approach the government is using to deal with the challenge.
The IGP has gradually got approval from the presidency, and these are being deployed from time to time. I remember in Akwa Ibom State, the consultant was with me, and we actually, before I left, we got to an advanced stage, whereby if anything happens to anyone in school, we just with the touch of a button, the control room is aware, and then we move into that place. It's already being used in Akwa Ibom, and I'm sure Lagos is working towards that too.
When we have any issue concerning security in any school, and they get to us at the center, we have quick response numbers. When they get to us at the center, we escalate it to the relevant agents that can quickly respond to that incident.
Sylvester Juwe is an educationist who is concerned about the safety of students.
Collaboration between the schools, the community they live in, the parents, and also the law enforcement agencies. Because it's difficult for these school priests to come into a school and kidnap students without anybody seeing them in the community.
With the Safe School Initiative given proper attention by all stakeholders, experts believe cases of kidnapping in schools will be totally eradicated. In Lagos, Hingino John Adams, NTA News.
That is it from Lagos. Nationwide, we continue in just after this break. Do stay.
Of Nigeria.
To Jos. The Managing Director of National Hydroelectric Power Producing Area Development Commission, Sadiq Abubakar Yalwa, is seeking collaboration with stakeholders for successful implementation of the Commission's action plan. The Managing Director gave this indication in a message to the Youth Transformation Program Stakeholders Progress Meeting in Jos. Caleb Gochin reports.
Participants at this meeting are strategizing on ways of ensuring successful distribution of starter packs to graduates in Plateau State. 324 Plateau youths, mostly from hyperdeck communities, were drilled in various skills for 6 months to make them productive and self-reliant. Hyperdeck authorities say they do not want the knowledge acquired by these youths to be wasted, hence the resolve to provide them with starter packs based on the recommendations of stakeholders.
Our aim and objective is to make sure they become employers of labor in the society. And this is one of our major plans and vision for the development of Plateau State, Nigeria, and the whole nation.
We are here to discuss and strategize with the community.
Giving an overview performance report of the Commission on the Plateau, the Managing Director represented explained that they have carried out numerous developmental projects cutting across basic human needs. Stakeholders in their submissions were of the view that monitoring and evaluation of the beneficiaries is instrumental as they encouraged the Commission to continue with its assignment. In Jos, Caleb Gochin, NTA News.
The Joint Tactical Team of 3 Division Headquarters and Operation Safe Haven has arrested and paraded 7 suspects in connection with the killing of Assistant Superintendent of Immigration Christopher Agwam, serving with Operation Safe Haven Sector 4, Barikin Ladi. Ijoma Ozomina has details.
In pursuance of its operational mandate of mopping up illegal arms and ammunition from unauthorized persons, the Nigerian Army conducted operations at Fan District of Barikin Ladi local government area of Plateau State. During the operation, the team recovered arms from gun runners' hideouts at Sangasa village in Fan District.
During the operations that lasted for 1 week, the team arrested 7 suspects and recovered both automatic and locally fabricated weapons, as well as different caliber of ammunitions from Ratas, Ratoso, and Sangasa villages, all in Fan District in Barikin Ladi local government area of Plateau State.
However, an administrative officer of Sector 4, Barikin Ladi, Assistant Superintendent of Immigration, Christopher Agwam, was killed by the suspected criminals during the operation. Consequently, the team declared some persons wanted in connection with the attack. Meanwhile, the funeral service of the late immigration officer held in his hometown, Rizek Jos East local government area. The OPSH and Immigration Services described the deceased as a hardworking, diligent and courageous officer who will be remembered for his service to the nation. In Jos, Ijoma Ozemena, NTA News.
That's our contribution from Jos. It's back to Ruth in Abuja for the continuation of Nationwide.
Thank you very much, Bukisu. The Nigerian Army is reviewing internal security operations in the northwest to effectively combat banditry in the zone. Defense correspondent Ismail Musa was at the ongoing retreat for commanders in our reports.
A past and serving army field commanders in the northwest evaluating the current security challenges in the zone. There are ongoing operations to curb the security threats, but the increasing activities of bandits necessitated this retreat.
The retreat should serve as a forum for robust deliberation, which must involve analyzing lessons learned and developing implementable recommendations that would brace Nigerian Army's operations and foster collaborations with sister services, other security agencies, and various stakeholders.
The program provides an avenue for tactical level commanders to step away from their normal routines in the theaters of operation and review their past and present performance with a view to reinvigorating future operations.
The military cannot solve the issue completely, but it should provide the enabling environment for other activities to take place. And that's the essence of why we are running the 3-day retreat of past commanders and present ones who are served in the northwest geopolitical zone, for them to come up. What are the issues operationally, logistical-wise, administrative-wise, and then relationship with others, so that we can fine-tune and find a way of improving on what is happening right now.
It also gives credence to operational efficiency to win land battles, while lessons drawn from the engagement will be a compendium to serve as reference material for training. In Abuja, Ismail Musa, NTA News.
Ahead of the planned nationwide protests, the Fulani ethnic group in Nigeria are mobilizing and sensitizing themselves across the country not to participate in the protest against government leaders. against government, while leaders of the Fulani at their meeting in Nasarawa State said the Tinubu administration deserves commendation for the bold decisions in resetting the economy and also for creating the Ministry of Livestock Development. Let's hear more from Aliyu Tijani.
The creation of the Ministry of Livestock Development by President Bola Tinubu excites Fulani ethnic group, and they converge on Nasarawa State to declare their total support for the Tinubu administration to succeed. The Ministry of Livestock Development, they believe, signal a new era for livestock farmers and pastoralists in the country, as it will address their challenges as well as open opportunities for investment in livestock production. They say policies and programs of the Tinubu administration should be commended by all Nigerians, as they are aimed at building a resilient economy for a prosperous country. The ethnic group calls on its members across the country not to join the planned protest.
We urge our members and all Nigerians to remain calm and be patient, trusting in the process of dialogue, collaboration to bring about the necessary changes. We call upon all stakeholders to engage in open and honest discussions, seeking solutions and benefits that will benefit the entire nation and promote lasting peace.
On the fight against insecurity, the Fulanis commend security agencies for successes recorded in recent times, as they declare their total support to initiatives that will promote peace, security, and sustainable development of Nigeria. Aliyu Tijani, NTA News.
In the same vein, Miyetti Allah Cattle Breeders Association of Nigeria has commended the creation of the Ministry for Livestock Development by the federal government. In a media briefing, President of the association, Baba Uthman Ngezama, believes that the industry has the capacity of employing over 20 million Nigerians, and which also has the potential of unlocking millions of additional quality jobs at a time when Nigeria is beset by high level of graduate and youth unemployment. Reports just reaching us says the African group at the World Trade Organization presented
the larger picture of what the establishment of this wonderful ministry can do as a strategic move by Tinubu's administration to realizing the potentials involved in the livestock sector for economic diversification and growth, creating employment, addressing food security, and adaptation of global best practices for enhanced GDP, in addition to the security issues that we believe the ministry is going to address squarely.
All right, let's bring you now the report reaching us that says the African group at the World Trade Organization presented a proposal at the World Trade Organization General Council today. The proposal is for members to consider Dr. Ngozi Okonjo-Iweala to run for her second term as Director General, WTO, and for the Chair General Council to commence the process of the appointment of the Director General as soon as possible. At the General Council today, members pointed all the efforts and qualities of the DG alongside her contributions to the organization that enhance a slot of progress and development, and also affirmed that she deserves to be reappointed as the DG. All the members in the meeting from all regions that took the floor, almost 58 members supported. The meeting concluded with resolutions that the General Council Chair will start consultations on the process of appointment of the General Council soonest as approved by the General Council. Ibadan will be our next stop as we join Larry Idowu. Let's find out what's happening there. Larry.
See you, Ruth, and welcome to Ibadan. The Nigerian Society of Broadcasters has inducted its pioneer members in Oyo State with a call to uphold the integrity of broadcasting profession and carve a niche for themselves in the industry. This was at the grand inauguration of Oyo State chapter of the body. Wasiu Rahuf has the details. The idea behind the initiative of Society of Nigerian Broadcasters, which was conceived some decades ago, is not only to serve as a regulatory body, but also as a research and training platform for broadcasters for better service delivery. A lecture titled Broadcasting, Balancing Professionalism and Sustainability identified ethical conduct, capacity building, innovation, and adaptability, as well as effective regulation as some of the ways to overcome the various challenges facing the industry for continued relevance.
You develop yourself, you go for various courses, short courses,
in collaboration with the NBC, a training academy that will allow people to be taught what you want to measure them against.
For those of you that are still in the service, and equally for those of us that have served, so that we'll be proud of the profession that have mentored all of us.
A lecture titled Broadcasting, Balancing Professionalism and Sustainability identified ethical conduct, capacity building, innovation, and adaptability, as well as effective regulation as some of the ways to overcome the various challenges facing the industry for continued relevance.
We will fall back on associations of this nature because they provide professional support.
We have professionals under the broadcasting, and they follow the rules and standard guiding the professions.
About 80 members were newly inducted in Oyo State. The Federal Road Safety Corps says it will not tolerate any form of assault on its personnel by erring offenders, as it will go all out in full force to protect officers and men of the Corps for efficient service delivery. FRSC Corps Marshal Shehu Mohammed stated this during his official visit to Ogun State Sector Command. Yemi Dalimo has the details.
The Corps Marshal notes that in line with the digital transformation of government activities of the current administration, FRC activities nationwide will henceforth be accessed online through the app, which will soon be launched. The FRC boss explained that the new application will not only increase productivity among workforce, but will also reduce costs as the Corps engages other measures to fulfill its mandate. Sheikh Mohammed promised improved welfare for officers and men of the Corps, while also charging them to uphold the principles of trust, discipline, integrity, and selfless service to restore the glory of the Corps.
Government is seeing it. We are getting knocked down every day, and we know that we have stakeholders, we have supervisors, and they are doing everything possible to make sure that at least they support us.
Ogun State Sector Commander FRSC Anthony Uga informed the august visitor that the command succeeded in reducing road traffic crashes.
The following efforts and initiatives, as well as homegrown initiatives, have resulted in this reduced RTCs and fatalities. A. Motorized patrols during festive seasons, joint patrols with other security agencies, regular prosecution of traffic offenders in mobile courts.
FRC, however, notes that the Corps would not tolerate assault on its personnel under whatever guise, as such erring offenders will be made to face the full wrath of the law. In Abuja, Yemi Dalimo, NTA News.
And those are the trending reports from Ibadan. This hour nationwide continues in our Abuja studios with Ruth.
Sorry. Secretary to the Government of the Federation, George Akume, has approved the appointment of 8 assistant court marshals to the rank of deputy court marshals, while 3 of the DCMs are to proceed on immediate retirement. The remaining 5 are to fill up existing vacancies in the South, Southeast, Southwest, North Central, and Northwest geopolitical zones. The 3 promoted officers to proceed on immediate retirement are Deputy Court Marshal Kingsley Agomo, Deputy Court Marshal Zubeiru Mato, as well as Deputy Court Marshal Jonas Agu. The Secretary to the Government of the Federation expressed delight over the level of transparency and objectivity that heralded the whole process, and urged the appointed officers to rededicate themselves to achieving the corporate vision of the Corps. Let's take a break. We'll be back in a moment. Thank you for staying tuned. The climate and environmental advocate and team lead for the Global Initiative for Food Security and Ecosystem Preservation, Michael David, says food waste contributes to global warming. He said this on NTA's News Panorama today, emphasizing that with many people going hungry, wasting of food must be controlled at both homes and the government sector.
So food waste basically in the country are two. First, food waste from the farm, that is post-harvest losses. 40% of the food we produce go to waste during harvest, post-harvest, because of lack of storage facilities, especially the cooling systems. The second one is food waste after preparation of food. So it's very common in Nigeria. You go to weddings and then you see food wastage, practical. Why many are hungry, people would cook lots of food, and a festive period, Salah, Christmas, and all those weddings, lots of it goes to waste. And the major issue and the implication of this on our environment is huge. First of all, food waste contributes to climate change. One of the major potent gas for greenhouse gas emissions that contribute to climate change is methane. That smell that when you pass through a dump site and you perceive, it comes from food waste. So all of this food, when they are discarded, they decompose and produce that gas, which is very dangerous for the environment. Secondly, it is resource wastage. So when food is being produced, or even when it's cooked, energy is used, water is used, and all of this go to waste.
Instead of wasting our food, let's give the needy, right? A new book titled Tree of Life has been officially unveiled, with intriguing impact on literature and human communication with nature. Authored by Stephanie Semba Kurshat, the book drives on her conviction, My Voyage of Bravery, Development and Acceptance. Abubakar Akwanga reports.
The Tree of Life, aptly captured in a 319-page book with several chapters, chronicles the journey of a survivor of many ordeals, explained in a few words, My Voyage of Bravery, Development and Acceptance. The author, who hails from Benue State, says her contribution to intellectual growth of the nation was inspired by her experience and sheer belief of life, with environment as a major influencer.
First of all, I had a brain tumor. After that, then I had another operation. From there, my operation was 50. I have like 4 operations. Then I was like, okay, God is keeping me alive for a purpose. So what I'm going to do is I have to put everything together and put it into a book.
Everywhere. Some of the pillars Stephanie stepped on and rose up to the top of the ladder say she had fought many battles, and her literary works will inspire many to navigate through the challenges of life.
Looking at where she came from and what she has achieved today, you will realize that this is a young girl that has actually crossed so many rivers, turbulent rivers. And she swam through these rivers and wasn't eaten by a shark.
Very difficult situations she came face to face with, but she was able to overcome all that. And today, she's an author of a big book, and I'm really impressed. It's a lesson to our young children.
Stephanie will remain a figure of reference to many who gave up after one failure and never put up a trial to surmount several other obstacles in the face of societal pressure. In Abuja, Abubakar Akwanga, NTA News.
President Bola Tinubu extends his congratulations to Mazi Afam Josiah Osigwe, SAN, on his election as the president of the Nigerian Bar Association. The president also congratulates all newly elected officers of the NBA and members of the association on a successful conduct of the elections. In a statement, the president also commends the outgoing NBA president, Mr. Yakubu Mekel, SAN, on his stewardship of Nigeria's foremost legal association and assures the NBA of his administration's support in addressing challenges affecting the legal profession. That's nationwide. Thank you for your time. I'm Ruth Aguwele.